Rachel Zegler is crowdsourcing help for her sick dog, explaining that two different veterinarians she's been to have done nothing for him, so she's going to the amateur pet doctors on social media instead.
Instagram followers for help with her sick dog Lenny.
Millions watched as she held up her phone, raw and unfiltered. The lens pointed not at a red carpet gown, but at her unwashed hair and red-rimmed eyes. 2.5 million followers waited silently behind the glass. A single push of the post button would reveal a secret only her closest circle knew. Her 2-year-old rescue dog Lenny was sick, truly terrifyingly sick.
Rachel Zegler is desperately asking her $2.5 million. The actress revealed she's been to multiple vets who've done nothing, while her pup suffers from severe stomach issues and won't eat.
Rachel Zegler, the rising Hollywood star, was desperately asking her millions of followers for help. No veterinarian she'd seen could say why her pup lay curled beside her, stomach gurgling in miserable waves. Lenny was still in that half-puppy, half-gangly teen phase when most dogs acted like indestructible whirlwinds. Yet, for 3 agonizing days, he'd refused every bite of food, sprinted in frantic loops to the balcony, leaving explosive messes Rachel attempted and failed to clean before fresh ones arrived. She'd been to multiple vets who seemed to do nothing while her pup suffered severe stomach issues. After a second fruitless visit, an overnight clinic had suggested she simply give it time. Time was precisely what she lacked. In just 48 hours, she was booked on a transatlantic flight to begin a press gauntlet for her latest project. Canceling could implode contracts, demolish goodwill stacked brick by brick over years. She hit record. "Hey guys," she began, voice cracking. She cleared her throat and tried again. "If one more vet tells me to just take him home while he's literally spraying all over my apartment," she said, she'd lose it. "I know this isn't my usual content, but I really need some help." The camera panned to Lenny, his brown eyes fluttering open, trusting yet confused.
If one more vet tells me to just take him home while he's literally spraying all over my apartment, she says she'll lose it. Poor Lenny just turned 2 last month, and Rachel needs solutions before flying across the ocean in days.
You know that you're my best friend. Oh, okay. Oh, you have a best friend.
The moment she posted, comments flooded in instantly. Heart emojis, prayers, genuine concern. But with the waves of support came another tide. Speculation. Tabloids slapped lurid headlines on half-formed theories. Rachel Zegler pleads for aid. Is the Snow White star broke? A notorious blogger posted blurry paperwork claiming she'd downsized apartments. Another suggested she'd blown through her last paycheck on designer wardrobes. Rachel's publicist texted, "Headline spinning, you're out of cash. Take the story down." Rachel stared at the message. Delete it and lose potential leads for Lenny? Or leave it up and feed the rumor mill? The dog took priority. She replied, "Keep it. We need answers."
After contacting followers for support regarding her dog Lenny's unexplained sickness, Rachel Zegler went makeup-free on Monday to take him for a stroll around her neighborhood in New York City.
He's been very good all day, and he also has 2 kids.
Huh? Aha, see?
I don't. I have a dog. He doesn't care if who Aurora is.
Oh, I love to document, but it's mostly me taking pictures of my dog and sending them to you.
At lunch, she doubled down with an Instagram story, cutting through the noise. "If any licensed vets can hop on FaceTime, DM me, please. No clout chasing. He's been very good all day." The request set off a second wave online, screenshots flying, some from genuine DVMs, others from armchair experts and self-certified canine nutritionists. She sifted through them exhausted as Lenny lay beside a bowl of rice her mother had cooked. He sniffed, licked, turned away. That rejection felt heavier than any headline. Commentary channels latched onto the going broke angle. One host smirked to 15,000 viewers. Maybe if she hadn't blown her West Side Story bonus on luxury flights, she'd have vet money. TikToks analyzed Manhattan vet costs overlaid with charts of her estimated net worth. DMs split into empathy and backlash. Some insisted medical mysteries cost 5 figures fast. Others scoffed. Imagine crowdsourcing with an iPhone 17 Pro Max.
What's a girl gonna do? A time gotta
After West Side Story composer Leonard Bernstein was formally diagnosed with colitis following 3 on Sunday, trying to figure out how to help her 2-year-old miniature golden doodle, who had a loss of appetite and was spewing crazy diarrhea all over her apartment. Emergency trips to the vet, and the intravenous medications have certainly helped settle his system.
In the lull between notifications, Rachel lay on the floor, palm on Lenny's spine. He wagged weakly. "We'll figure it out," she whispered. She didn't care if strangers mocked her for pleading online. She cared about the warmth of Lenny's heartbeat against her wrist. Sunset drenched the apartment in orange light. Cardboard boxes of overnighted pet supplies lined the hall. Electrolyte packets, herbal tinctures, disposable pads. She mixed pumpkin into rice, coaxed Lenny to taste. He refused. Then, a ping. Dr. Priya Kapoor, a board-certified internist, offered a free video consult. Within 30 minutes, they connected. Priya's calm questions pierced Rachel's fog. After reviewing test results, she suspected severe gastritis or early colitis and recommended a rice water flush, anti-nausea meds, and, if symptoms persisted, an ultrasound.
And get this, all of this is happening just 2 days before she's supposed to fly overseas. She's stressed, exhausted, and now she's asking fans for help.
She remembered
Anything would help, she wrote. Lenny just turned 2 last month, the West Side Story legend. So if you've got advice or good vibes to send, now's the time. Rachel named him after Leonard Bernstein. Yeah.
But the internet's echo chamber refused to pause. Overnight, accounts posted red carpet photos beside screenshots of Rachel's tear-streaked face, screaming broke, or fishing for sympathy likes. Conspiracies sprouted about Disney staging the drama to distract from box office jitters. Yet genuine animal lovers rallied, filling comments with personal stories and petitions for better vet access. Rachel hearted dozens until the screen blurred with her tears. At dawn, she loaded Lenny into a borrowed SUV and drove to a New Jersey specialty clinic. Reddit users tracked her route, debating whether the hospital was mid-tier or elite. In the seafoam waiting room, she pulled a baseball cap low. The ultrasound revealed mild intestinal thickening, treatable with medication and a bland diet reset. Relief mingled with caution, no instant cure, but finally a plan. Outside, cameras flashed. "Rachel, are you broke? Is Disney paying?" She hugged the crate, shielding Lenny's cone-clad head. Back home, she posted, "We have answers. Medication is working. Thank you." She refused to address the rumors, instead sharing a slow-motion clip of Lenny sipping water. Sympathy finally overshadowed skepticism. Hashtags shifted from #HelpLenny to #GetWellLenny.
The actress took to her Instagram story Sunday morning, telling her 2.5 million followers that her pup Lenny is in bad state and she's at her wit's end trying to help him.
Late-night shows mined cheap laughs. One joked, "When WebMD for Pets is your primary physician, you might be broke." Rachel muted the clip but couldn't mute the sting. She considered posting receipts, then shrugged. Her validation didn't depend on strangers. And get this, all of this was happening just 2 days before she was supposed to fly overseas for the biggest press tour of her career. Then, an email arrived from Cornell's College of Veterinary Medicine inviting Lenny into a pilot study on canine gut microbiome, covering comprehensive tests and a year of follow-up. Rachel forwarded it to Dr. Kapoor, who replied, "Ethical and excellent. Let's enroll him." Across the Atlantic, tabloids recalibrated. Ziegler dog drama spurs Ivy League science project. Fame wins again. Opinion columns debated whether celebrity pets receive privileged care while ordinary owners struggle. But for once, discourse felt productive.
Zegler says she's been to the vet multiple times over the last few days, but her dog is still experiencing bad stomach issues and no appetite. Her mom's making her dog a ton of chicken and rice, Zegler added, but it's not enticing him to eat. She's really worried about him because she has to fly across the ocean in a couple of days.
Thursday afternoon, Rachel and her mother drove Lenny to Cornell's Yonkers lab. White-coated techs greeted them with clinical efficiency and genuine smiles. Back in the car, she tuned the radio to show tunes she once belted in her bedroom. Her mother harmonized softly, and for 5 blissful minutes, the crisis shrank to a subplot. Over the weekend, Cornell emailed the final diagnosis: dysbiosis, a disrupted gut microbiome, likely triggered by dietary indiscretion or stress. Treatment: 2 weeks of probiotics and a gradual diet transition. The worst seemed behind them. Meanwhile, the op-ed Rachel had been considering crystallized into a 700-word essay, drafted between meds and luggage packing. She framed it around the unpredictability of pet emergencies, the importance of accessible care, and gratitude for communities that bridge gaps. USA Today accepted it, timing publication with her London departure.
While he's clearly not feeling 100%, Rachel says her dog is still playing and they can't feel any growths in his stomach, so she just doesn't know what's wrong with him. Rachel also says if one more vet tells her to just take Lenny home and let him wait out his symptoms while he's in so much discomfort and literally spraying all over her apartment with such urgency, then she's gonna lose it.
Departure day arrived at dawn. Rachel recorded a final pre-flight message. Update. He's eating, playing, plotting to chew my suitcase straps. I'll be overseas for a week, but Mom and an in-home vet will spoil him. She smiled, relief etched in every line. Thank you for turning panic into progress. She disabled comments to ward off trolls while airborne, hugged her mother, kissed Lenny's forehead, and stepped into a rideshare. Mid-flight, she opened the shade to sunrise streaking across cumulus peaks. She typed reflections. Crises reveal the scaffolding of loved ones and strangers alike. Rumors say more about rumor mongers than subjects. Money, though crucial, wasn't the true battle. Uncertainty was. He greeted her at arrivals with flashes, but she navigated the terminal in oversized sunglasses, clutching a tote emblazoned with cartoon dogs. Reporters yelled questions about vet bills. She waved politely, refusing to bite. When the op-ed dropped, social feeds erupted in rare harmony of praise. Donations to low-income vet nonprofits spiked. Lenny's story transcended gossip and crystallized into a movement. Hashtags evolved again, now to #MuttsAndMedicine. Months turned to a year. Cornell published preliminary findings citing Lenny's case as proof gut microflora fluctuations could masquerade as acute gastric crises. Scientific journals credited a celebrity's transparency for boosting recruitment. Rachel returned to sets, but something fundamental had shifted. She set boundaries on press days, scheduled televet check-ins, bought top-tier pet insurance. She partnered with a nonprofit to fund microgrants for owners facing emergency quotes. The venture launched quietly, yet saved a dozen pets its first quarter. 5 years after that frantic Instagram story, she scrolled back through her archive, paused on the tear-streaked video, and considered deleting it. Instead, she tapped Add to Highlights, titled it Braveheart, and noted, "Sometimes the scariest thing you can do is ask for help. I'm proud I did." She locked her phone, whistled for Lenny and another rescued pup, a 3-legged terrier she named Encore, and headed out. Evening sun gilded the city, reflecting off glass towers like a promise. As the dogs trotted ahead, tails high, Rachel felt no trace of the panic that once knotted her chest. The world would keep spinning headlines, but she had discovered a sturdier orbit, one where love outweighed speculation and health, canine or human, held a value beyond clickbait currency.